In this video, I'm going to share with you this simple 3-step system to turn into a college prospect. If you want access to this document directly, go down below in the description to download it. Now, you're going to want to stick until the end because I'm going to show you exactly what you're doing wrong in the whole college recruiting process. So now, let's get started.
Get cozy because I'm going to quite literally pull back the curtains on everything we teach, who I am, how it works, why it works, all right? So this document is to dedicate to record really everything that I've learned in my journey and, from being an overlooked high school baseball player to landing multiple college offers. I'm also going to discuss the Triple Play, which is my program inside the Mendoza Baseball Academy, where we help serious high school baseball players develop into college players. Most of our players went from little to no structure in their development and recruiting, spinning their wheels, to now having that clarity on what to do and also, very, very importantly, how to do it. And also really why we are doing it, right? So first and foremost, my name is Evan Mendoza. I'm the founder of Mendoza Baseball Academy, where we help high school baseball players turn into college prospects by leveraging the player development and recruiting. And it's my mission to help as many possible serious baseball players quality development programs, right? Here's some pictures throughout my baseball career. This was during winter ball, Cardinals, Padres. Back in high school, though, I struggled to get on college radars. This was my freshman year. I don't want to talk too much about myself, but basically, my family and I moved down to Sarasota, Florida, and I was able to generate 3 D1 offers for my top 3 schools. So there was a lot of uncertainty around my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and I actually landed that college commitment right before my senior year. So I was definitely a late bloomer. In college, I played at NC State University. Freshman year, I pitched, and then I transitioned over to third baseman my sophomore and junior year, and I also studied aerospace engineering, all right? In pro ball, I got drafted in 2017. I got a decent signing bonus, and then I played 7 years in the minors between the Cardinals and Padres. And I wasn't making a ton as far as money. It's a grind in the minor leagues, and I'm also a career 300 hitter. That's supposed to be right there. I'm 306 in big league spring training. So I've been able to play alongside, some of these great players, including Albert Pujols his last year with the St. Louis Cardinals. I've also been able to play in a World Baseball Classic, right? So I really don't need to go over all this. I do social media. I started on TikTok. I did swing breakdowns during quarantine, 7,000 swing breakdowns over a course of 3 months. So you guys can pause this video at any point in time. I also, encountered some injuries. I broke my wrist a couple of times. And then also I, started giving lessons during that rehab process. I got traded to the Padres. I tore my adductor. Again, another injury. Again, this was really when I had that idea of remote training. And I really had this, realization. I could impact way more players if I offered remote training. As you can see in some of these pictures, I did camps, I did lessons, but really I wanted to reach people all across the world, which is exactly what we're doing right now. I have a couple of students in Japan, 1 or 2 in Mexico, and then spread all over the United States as well. So first and foremost, I really want to make sure we're all on the same page on what we are not. We are not a recruiting service. We are not just a course. We are not a cookie cutter approach. We're not just a library of drills for your son. We are not in-person lessons. We're not camps, and we're not showcases. And we are definitely not a placement service or a networking vehicle, right? I'm not the middleman for your player just to get connected with certain colleges. I would much rather teach you the ways that I needed to learn to get those, college offers. So how do I help, right? This is where the Triple Play comes into play. Really giving my students the skills, the knowledge of the game, while also giving them that recruiting path, that recruiting strategy to attract interest from college coaches. We focus on the physical, the mental development, and then the recruiting guidance. But before we dive into all those, I really just want to quickly hit on my mentor, right? Because I think to be able to be great in anything, you have to look up to someone that paves the way, right? This was my freshman year high school coach, Jim McCandless. Unfortunately, he's not, no longer with us anymore. He passed away, but he truly gave me that confidence that I didn't know that I had in myself, right? So he truly helped shape my entire baseball career, and without him, I really don't know if I would have found that confidence in myself. So is this you, all right? Your son is not on any college coach's radars. Maybe you're confused by the recruiting process. His structure could be improved. Their development has possibly plateaued, and he doesn't have anyone in his corner, right? So this leads to not taking action, feeling like it's not the right time to email these college coaches, trying to create the perfect program to follow. He lacks overall confidence. Maybe you guys are spinning your guys' wheels, and he's being overlooked by college coaches. And this really stinks because he has been training hard. The family has invested a lot in your son's journey, and he's way better than competition, but you guys are using an old school approach. You're probably doing like 1-hour private lessons a week, maybe on hitting, pitching, or speed and agility, or maybe even a private trainer in the gym working on just generalized gym workouts, bodybuilding exercises, things like that. You're definitely possibly neglecting the mental development. Not many people really work on this at the high school level. Maybe he's writing his own programs in his notes app. He's being passive and letting college coaches find him. Maybe you guys are using a recruiting service, and I get that. but they're not going to really give you much as far as, that personalized one-on-one attention. They do help with spammed out camp invites and things like that, but maybe you're waiting around for your travel coach or high school coach to finally do what they said and help you out in the recruiting process. It happened to me too. All right, so here's what most people do in the recruiting process. I will get into the physical and mental development as well, but you guys focus way too much on the recruiting side of things. I always like to say 10% of your energy and focus should be on recruiting, 90% on developing into the best baseball player your son could possibly be. All right, so maybe you guys are sending out maybe a couple emails, maybe making a one highlight video that's way too long, posting a couple of times, relying on coaches, going to showcases and camps as much as time and money will allow. And this is why most people struggle. Being a great baseball player is rule number one. And if you think you're going to get into college by writing the perfect email, you have been fed some bad information. 10 to 40 emails probably isn't going to cut it because a lot of times you're manually sending them out. So if sending out 100 emails sounds like overwhelming, keep watching. I'm going to show you exactly how we can easily increase that number. And then a 3-minute YouTube video of a highlight video of your son, just way too long. There's definitely a right way to edit that video. And again, I'm going to show you how to do that, so stick around, right? And your son's not going to go viral on social media. I don't instruct my students to go viral. I instruct them to build up a database. And your coach, your travel ball coach, your high school coach probably isn't as connected as he says he is, all right? Maybe he is, maybe he's not, but either way, he has an entire team. And I don't think he's necessarily going to be calling up, colleges on behalf of each and every individual player. He's going to be worried about what jerseys you guys are going to be wearing tomorrow, what field, what time, tournament information, tournament fees. That's what your travel ball coach probably is going to be more or less focused on. Also, college coaches at these showcases and college camps, they've already seen or talked to certain players. So this is the stage where they get evaluated, not necessarily get the exposure. I see a lot of parents go to these evaluation events to get the exposure, all right? These events are to get evaluated, not for the exposure. So parents and players will do a mix of this between sophomore, junior, and senior year, and then they'll really panic their senior year when nothing has come to fruition, right? Maybe this is when you guys settle for maybe a community college in your local area that you truly don't see your son going to, right? So it's critical that you solve these problems as soon as possible because there are less scholarships tomorrow, or every day really, that passes by. And the more spots, there will be more spots today than there will be tomorrow. Every single day there's student athletes that are committing and receiving offers and landing scholarships, and that's just a proven fact, okay? So here's what we do instead. We obviously focus on the physical and the mental, and then also the recruiting. The physical development, we're just trying to turn into the best athletes we can possibly be. College coaches love athletes, right? So what's included in this, daily checklist for your player, monthly workout programs that are baseball specific, and also written by a New York Mets strength coach. Ultimately, we just want to get baseball strong, okay? I made the mistake of doing a bodybuilding exercise and workout program during my professional career. It didn't translate over to the field, all right? So we take into account the volume your player should be putting in depending on the time of the season. If it's, November to January, this is considered the off season. The middle of summer during travel ball, obviously we're going to take all of that into account, all right? We're going to be focusing on, maintaining muscle in season, less volume, off season, more volume, all right? We're going to incorporate blocks to make sure that we're actually working out like baseball players. I was introduced to blocks in college and in pro ball, and really all my life, for the past 10 years in either college or pro ball, we've used blocks as far as a way to go about our workout programs. Also, the sprinting program, this is the same exact program that I did to decrease my 60-yard dash time all the way from an 8.4 to a 7.4. All right, it's not necessarily fancy, but this is where we incorporate the mental side to connect the physical. I always like to say like a golf cart maybe has a governor to 80%. That's what your physical abilities are going to allow you. But when you have that mental to maybe add into that 20%, that's a gust of 100-mile-an-hour wind pushing you in the same direction. That mental and physical combined into one, that's where the magic happens, right? Also mobility modules like increasing flexibility. This is going to be all very, very important stuff. But again, take a screenshot or pause the video to read up on all of this. And then you can also download this document down below if you'd really like. But this is where the structure comes in. We have video demonstrations. Your player's never going to feel lost in this whole process. And this is really, truly like how we go through. We're not going to just go through the motions. We're going to understand the how and the why before anything, right? That education is huge. So this is an example of what my workout programs look like. That all these, if I zoom in real quick, it'll tell you basically the month, the day, and then also upper body, lower body, full body movement day, exactly what we're focusing on that day. All of these are also embedded with links. So if you click on one of them, it's going to bring up a YouTube video. Again, that structure where your son's never going to feel lost. He can print this out. He can have access to this on his phone, etc. All right. The mental development is going to ultimately be increasing his overall baseball IQ through a couple of courses like the Pro Defense course, which is basically the St. Louis Cardinals handbook that they gave me when I signed with them, obviously reworded to make sure that it's directed towards high school baseball players. We use GIFs inside all of my courses. That way we have a good understanding of that visual component, right? So this is my teaching style. We have these GIFs, which are like looping 2-second videos explaining how to actually do a certain exercise, explaining the right way versus the wrong way. And then I'm up here explaining the concept, explaining the topic, all right? So that's something that I don't think you'll really find anywhere. The velo throwing program and arm care course, this is how we develop and gain healthy velocity. We also incorporate these preventative exercises. Again, using GIFs. Rather than just giving you a throwing program, I'm going to teach you on the why we create it and how we create it throughout the season, so that way your son can be best informed on how to implement this, right? Should you be doing a throwing program in the off season, in season, when to start, plyo balls, weighted balls, bands, long toss? There's a ton of options and variables that I'm just going to show your player, right? And then it comes to the recruiting guidance. So this is going to be your A to Z process for you and your player, the strategy involved to reach out to these college coaches and land a college commitment. Email templates, outreach systems and strategies to easily implement and effectively reach these college coaches. DM templates, anything about how the recruiting process works, it's okay. I'm going to show you how to get started. And even if you think it's too late to get started in this recruiting process, that's completely okay. If you feel like you're being overlooked, again, I'm going to show you on why you're not getting that true opportunity. So what's really included, like I said, the outreach system and strategies, email templates, social media training, video editing, crash course, college grading system. Most importantly, I'm in your corner, right? This is what the college commitment blueprint courses look like as far as like an overview of information. Really important stuff, guys. Social media training, I wish I had, and even like how to handle post commitment. I personally, my head got a little bit too big. Not too big though, because I've always been pretty humble. But also, what else do you get? A private community, 24/7 personalized support from me. All right, you can DM me whenever you want, and this is where it's not a cookie cutter approach. Your problems and your son's problems become my problems. His goals will also become my goals. All right, there's gonna be monthly Zoom calls, bi-weekly group calls, classroom sessions, and these are gonna be the small topics you have already probably told your son, like nutrition, diet, hydration, sleep, all of that. That I basically reiterate. Right. These are some of the classroom sessions, like I said, goal setting, nutrition, growth mindset, short-term goals, time management. These are, great things. So let's dive a little bit deeper on the recruiting process. I'm not going to necessarily hit on every single word that's shown right here, but this is what we're going to do, right? So our students email a minimum of 50 schools, and then also we send some follow-ups as well. We intentionally build out, our YouTube channel, and then we strategically use Twitter to both generate and get that exposure, right? Our students are also go-getters and completely non-reliant on their travel ball coach or high school coach, and if anything, maybe they just need like a little bit of a recommendation from these college coaches, right? And then our students are also attending the right recruiting events as far as evaluation events. Make sure that they go to the right camps, the right showcases. They don't get burnt out with, because I actually got scammed out of a camp. It was more of a showcase camp where 30 colleges were supposed to be in attendance and only 2 showed up. Right? So using the triple play means your player will get into peak performance as a baseball player to pass the eye test. He knows exactly what he's working on every single day, and he now has a desire to push himself even further. Right? He also has that mental clarity, and he's going to play with more confidence. I always say that confidence is a super easy equation: preparation multiplied by experience. Right? I have 7 years of professional experience. I've prepared a lot. That's why I'm very confident that the triple play is going to work for your player. He's going to have that structure also on the recruiting process, so that way he can focus on what really matters, which is his overall physical and mental development. He's also not going to be waiting around to deliver that interest in him, all right? We're going to generate it ourselves. So coaches watch more of our videos for longer, which is ultimately showing a sign of interest, and then that way we have a massive competitive advantage, all right? So here's some proof. You guys can click if you are on this document anywhere right here. It's going to take you to my landing page. It's going to have all these video testimonials with all of my students. This is, for example, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but, man, I got to tell you, Santiago has changed. He's more determined and has a different outlook on the game and the work he needs to put in. Really appreciate what you're doing with him, right? Aiden got some camp invites, and they're definitely personalized. He's gotten 4 in 2 weeks, so, he's hoping for a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. Johnny was able to run a 6.7 60 and a 90 exit velo off of the tee. He's becoming more and more explosive every single day. This is actually my student in Japan, Sayori Sasaki, Hugo's mom, and you can tell I can't pronounce that, but they're out of Japan, and this was just like a quick little conversation that we had via email, because that's the way that we communicate. But for all these students, we use Slack as far as that private community, and there's just honestly way too many to go through, so I'm just going to pick it up right here. So here's what we will do, right? So he will gain that essential education, right? Education is that base layer of a pyramid that ultimately we're trying to build a very tall pyramid with your son, right? If you have a very small educational understanding, that base layer of a pyramid, he's going to be kind of capped on how tall that pyramid can be. But if we build out a strong, wide base, he's going to have that ability to really have that success in the game. Right? He's also going to get insight on how to become a competitive athlete using like the mental side. Obviously, he has to be competitive with the other team and sometimes his own teammates, but really being a competitor within himself. He's also going to increase that structure as a person on and off the field. These are going to be the habits that are really the separators between good and great ones, right? Great baseball players. The more structure we become, the more structure that we have, the better we'll become, right? And these habits will also pay your son back for the rest of his life. So we will help your son improve every single piece of his overall development puzzle, right? The physical development, we're going to show you how to train with baseball-specific movements for your player, right? We're going to show him really how to create a routine. We're going to show him how to take care of his arm, how to become a competitor, how to set properly goals, the mental strength of different approaches, showing up to the ballpark every single day, ready to get better. We're going to show you how college coaches watch videos, right? How quickly they exit away from these videos. I'm going to show you all of that. How to decipher a generic camp invite versus a personalized one. Which showcases or camps to go to. I'm going to show you all this, and we're also going to show you what not to say in an email. I'm going to be there alongside with you. Don't worry, it's very hands-on. And then also, what to do if they click on your email but they don't respond. A lot of you guys that are actively sending emails are not tracking click-through rate and open rate. So, this is basically down below in the description. You will see, a link about the triple play. You'll see a link for this 27-page blueprint down below. And if you are interested and you want to work with us, please book a call to speak with me or my team. We walk through your and your son's specific situation, and if we believe that we can help you, we'll show you that roadmap to success within the triple play. So again, you can click this link or just simply go down below in the description to book a call with me.